Hey guys, welcome to our first Excel introduction video for my class ENGR111 Software Tools for Engineers. In this video we will review what we did before in terms of what is Excel and what are the different parts of Excel. I'm going to review it very fast also in this video, and also we're gonna continue working on some of the newer topics in Excel. So let's start from scratch. Let's start what we did before, just to remind you, and then we're gonna continue working on Excel. So if you click on Start, and then under the E, you're gonna find Excel, or you're gonna find it here if you're using this Microsoft Office tabs or fast tabs. You might also find it on the desktop. So if I open this Excel here, we're going to start the Excel workbook, and this is the welcome screen. You can see here some of the files that we used before, so all the files that you used earlier you'll find there, and also you're going to find a number of templates if you want more templates, especially for other disciplines other than engineers, and also engineers are going to find templates to start from. As usual in this class, since we're doing some engineering work, we're going to usually work with a blank workbook, or we're going to work with or open a workbook that we did before. So we're going to start with a workbook. For me, just going to close this. Is just when my computer crashes, it gives me this window, so don't worry about this. So as you notice, it starts with book 1 as a default, so we need to save this into something that you will be using. So I'm going to save this. Let's do it all together, guys, and I want you to do the same. So here you save the file name like we said, or what we mentioned before. Put your last name. So let's imagine that my last name is Lee, and comma or dash or underscore, and then let's put exercise 1. And if you're also going to do the homework 1 at the same time, put exercise 1, and this is cell referencing, things that we'll be doing today. Then you want to figure out where you want to save it. So usually you want to put it in your USB, or put it in the cloud. I'm going to put it in my exercises here. So I'm going to here save. If I want to have more save options, it will take me here to my browse, where I can browse it to wherever I want. So let's see here, I want to put it inside my software tools. Let me see here. So in my software tools 2020, and here under exercises, so this will be my exercise here, and I'm going to save this. So it's going to start here the workbook. If you remember, we talked about the different parts of the workbook. We talked about the title bar, we talked about the quick reference. We're going to do this on Wednesday, how we're going to learn how to change this into what you like, or you have your own preferences. And then we have the tab of the ribbon, and then we have the main worksheet, and below here we have the status bar, and above this we have the sheets, so different worksheets. So again, a workbook contains different sheets. What I want you to do, just to remind you what we did in terms of sheets, this sheet will be classwork 1, some classwork that we'll be doing today, and here we're gonna have a new sheet, new worksheet, like a new page, and in this page we're gonna have exercise 1, the one that we'll be doing soon, and the third one you might do homework 1. So double click here, and I'm gonna write here homework 1. Okay guys, so these are the 3 worksheets that we have. So we talked about this. What we'll be doing today is a really simple yet very important part of Excel, something called cell referencing. And also we're going to talk about something called the active cell. We're going to talk also about some of the Excel basics here. We're going to talk about how do we copy and paste your functions. And also we're going to talk today about some what you call here relative and absolute referencing. And these are very easy yet important parts of Excel. Nobody using Excel can miss any of these, or he has to know like how to use this. So let's start here, guys. We're gonna learn how to do some calculations, how to do some repetitive calculations, and make use of this cell referencing. Before we do cell referencing, let's talk about the active cell. The active cell is simply the cell that you have selected. So cell here is H14. How did I know? Well, an active cell has three different things that you might see. Number one, it is highlighted by a green bold line or borders here. Number two, the column H is highlighted, and also the row 14 is also highlighted. That's the second thing you will find. The third thing, if you remember here, we talked about the formula bar, in which everything you write, especially if it's a formula, will be written here, and here you're gonna find the cell address, which is H14, and that is the meaning of cell referencing and active cell. So we talked about active cell. Let's now talk about cell referencing. If you remember that if you have a cell and this cell you want to write some stuff, you can write either three different things. Number one, you can write text. So for example, you can write any text you like. You can say, for example, hello, and if you look here in the formula bar, it says the same thing. So you can have here text, and you notice here the text by default is aligned to the left, or you can write a number, and you notice here that the number is highlighted, is aligned to the right. Or, and the third thing which you'll be using a lot in Excel, if you have a formula, when to tell the computer that you're going to enter a formula or a function, you simply just put equal. Once you put equal here, type equal, whatever you write will be calculated, and you can include some functions, and these functions are stored in Excel. Or when we do VBA, we can create our own personalized functions, and we will do that in later videos and in our class. So for example, when I say here 10 times 2 plus 18, that's a formula where it says here 10 multiplied by 2, multiplication comes first, and once you're done it gives you 20. 20 plus 18 should give you 38. So if you look here, it gives you the result, but if you look back in the formula bar here, it gives you the calculation. And then let's put here the number 10, and here comes the issue of cell referencing. Referencing here means you pointing to something, meaning that I want to point to the number in this cell and use it in another calculation. To do this, it's so simple. All you have to do is just, again, type equal. Let's say I want to multiply 2 times whatever number is there. So I say here 2, and I say times, and I want to point to this cell. That's the meaning of the word reference. So when I type here 10, it puts here, you can see, just clicking on the cell will give me something called the cell address, which is H11 here. So it's H11, 2 times H11. If I'm ready to do that, I just click enter. So it's now 10 times 2 equals 20. And that is the meaning of cell referencing. I can use cell referencing in different ways. I can use different cells together. So for example, if I say here 10, 20, 35, 27, and I want to create a function out of these numbers. So I say here equals 2 times, and I go to this cell here, plus 3 times, and I click on this cell here, minus 5 times this guy here, and then plus 27. It will give me whatever calculation that depends on these numbers. One thing you want to notice here, since it depends on these numbers, and that's the beauty of Excel, if one of these numbers were wrong and you want to fix it, everything else will fix. So this 10 here, let's just make it 12.